Welcome back. This morning we know the Grand Rapids Community Foundation has raised $27.2 million to send some GRPS students to college for free. We first told you about the big announcement for Challenge Scholars back in May. Now we're getting a look at some of the possible effects of the new program on the city's west side. 200 students set to graduate from Union High School in 2020 will be the first class of Challenge Scholars. Based on grades, attendance, behavior, and involvement, kids must go through Westwood Middle or Harrison Park Elementary and on from there. Grand Rapids Public Schools say in just a few months since that announcement, they've already seen more interest in the city's west side.
We were getting some families calling us saying, well, how do I become part of this? Where do I have to live? What's the attendance area boundary?
Helmholtz says even realtors are working to market the west side due to Challenge Scholars. The program shares similarities with the Kalamazoo Promise, although Challenge Scholars will pay for 200 kids, while the Promise pays for kids district-wide. The Kalamazoo Promise improved enrollment numbers in that area by 22% since it was put into place more than 8 years ago. Challenge Scholars may help boost enrollment on Grand Rapids west side.
Stocking, Sibley, C.A. Frost, these are schools that are in the feeder pattern for Westwood Middle and Union High. So if a child is at Stocking, they can graduate from Stocking and go to Westwood or potentially to Harrison and then be in the Challenge Scholar track.
What about the effect on private schools in the area? We went to West Catholic High School to find out if they're concerned the promise of free college may impact their enrollment in the future.
A large chunk of the West Side students all thinking college. In the long run, that improves the property values for our parents, for their parents. So I see it as a huge benefit.
Knievel believes those seeking faith-based educations will still attend schools like West Catholic, so it shouldn't affect their numbers. While the West Side kids have a shot at free college starting in 2020, what about other neighborhoods? Helmholtz says if Challenge Scholars is successful, it's possible to add programs to other parts of the city, but it comes at a huge price tag and would require more philanthropy. Now again, right now, the focus is on funding Challenge Scholars. The Grand Rapids Community Foundation, only about $4.8 million away from their goal of $32 million to fund the Challenge Scholars program. 200 kids, starting in 2020, every year after that, free college. It's
absolutely amazing. It really is amazing. It's a fantastic program. So glad to do it. And surprised, too, in some ways that the Catholic schools and some of the other Christian-based schools are not worried about this. It's kind of an interesting way to look at it. It's going to improve the neighborhood. It'll improve property values. It'll improve everybody's lives. So
yeah, they were really talking about just the west side, and the west side's really coming together behind this program. They are just thrilled to see this. I mean, the fact that realtors are calling and trying to push this on to maybe potential home buyers. I mean, this could really change the landscape in that part of the city.
Yeah, well, I live on the west side.
Yeah.
And it thrills me to death when they're doing something like this, so it's fantastic.
All right, yeah.